This episode of Speakers of Eidolon is made possible by our generous patrons, like Chris, Cleanway, Celesta, Mommy B, Eric Herring, Casey Schaefer, Alex Baus, and Omegacat Comet. Support the show and become a patron today at patreon.com/speakersxiv. This is Speakers of Eidolon. Good evening, Eorzeans. I'm Lukile and welcome to another episode of Speakers of Eidolon, episode 39. I am joined today by Maela Vanadar, and no Orange.
No Orange.
Oh, no Orange today, so hopefully he will be back as soon as possible. Today we're going to talk about the gear contest that was that's been going on for how long?
A couple of months, I think.
Yeah, a couple of months.
I was going to enter it until I realised I can't draw.
You know what? Did you see the... Oh, we're going to talk about that.
We're going to have a good time with that one.
We're going to talk about the updated trial. Not to be confused with the prime, like a battle, but like the Final Fantasy 14
like the
trial.
demo.
Yeah. The Far Edge of Fate soundtrack being released. We're going to talk a little bit about that one. And then we're going to talk about something we never talk about, which is Daddy of Light. We have not acknowledged that, but I feel like at this point, we have to acknowledge it. Then today's great discussion is actually a little bit of a... I'm expecting some controversy here. We're going to talk about defending MMOs online. Is it a waste of time? We'll get into what we're talking about here when we get to that point in the show. Now, before we start with all that, we're going to talk about a little bit another channel update. Bling bling. Don't know why I made the bling sound. Some of you probably noticed that there was no Remnants of a Realm this week. That's because that's planned, by the way. I did plan for no Remnants of a Realm this week. It'll be out next week, next Wednesday. There's probably only... I think I said this in the previous episode, but there's probably only going to be 2 more episodes of Remnants, and then I'll start working on Chronicles of a Realm, and then we're going to push out... another episode of Fallen Rise. Now, about Fallen Rise, I need to talk about that. The Fallen Rise series, which I know a lot of you watching, at least from YouTube, have probably subscribed as a result. Did you hear that? Did you hear Siri right now? Every time, I don't know why. Siri is like going off when I talk. I don't know why. So sorry about that. A lot of you watching on YouTube has probably subscribed as a result of Fallen Rise. I think episode 6 is going to... Oh, stay calm, everyone. I think episode 6 is going to end the Fallen Rise series.
Whoa,
oh, but don't be alarmed, because the reason I'm deciding to do that is I feel like Fallen Rise should be only about 1.0 and the end of 1.0, and then we're going to talk about cover the road from 2.0 to 3.0 in a different series that should be called something else, like
Submit your names. Make suggestions by emailing it to speakersxiv@gmail.com.
Yeah, there you go. Send us your suggestions for the name of the new series. You know where to do that. So don't worry, even though Fallen Rise ends with episode 6, a new one will come in its place. Don't worry. I want that to be like a standalone series, but it will have the same. I will do just as much work on that, so don't worry. It's not. Breathe. Okay, let's get into the meat of the episode then. This episode is starting bad. This is a bad start. Everything is sad. Don't worry, it's fine.
Gets better.
It gets better. Well,
we've got Daddy of Light to talk about.
Oh God.
Can't wait.
I'd also be happy for just Rise. Let's just call it Rise. Oh wait, what the fuck just happened?
Rise and Rise.
Wait. Okay, this is like I don't know what's going on today, but there's a curse, and I think it's because Orange is not here, but the podcast is blacked out for a second.
Oh
okay.
My God.
Let's just not panic. The gear contest.
Yes.
Did you do you know when it started? Like, I forgot to note that down. Of course I did. No, well,
I can look into.
let's not look into it. It's probably just a few months ago. It's not been going on for that long, has it? I can't
No,
remember. Anyway,
just a couple months.
the winners have been announced, and before we get to the actual winners, let's talk about some of the entries that we got. We got like I remember like I'm not going to show them on the screen because there's so many of them, but there was like one very infamous one, the crep one.
I think that should have been definitely a runner-up. I mean, it was artistic.
Yeah, it was
well drawn.
very, very well drawn. And
that was amazing.
It was pretty good. There was also, I was very amazed by how many good ones there were. Like
this community is very talented in the art department.
Yeah, very. I am not in that department.
Me neither.
I'm more like the crep guy. That was sort of my representative in this competition. But we got some winners, and for those of you watching us on who's watching the video podcast, we're gonna take a look at the winner for the range DPS, which is this one right here, Ghost Antlers. So, what do you think, Maela?
Right. I don't wanna be horrible about it because it's really well drawn.
Yeah.
It's the pants. It's the pants. it's the ass window.
Yeah. It also has like it has a front area as well, which is kind of, I don't know why.
What I do like though is that they've drawn the socks, like just in case you need to know what the socks look like.
Yeah, I mean the drawing is good. Like again, we just talked about this. Like
really good.
It's really well done, but I kind of feel like this one, I guess, like a lot of the ones that didn't make it make it because of like restrictions, the game engine's restrictions. The healer one, that one. Well, let's just look at it first. It's like a mix of like white mage. It's white mage meets scholar. In my eyes, it has like the red and white from red mage and sort of the scholarly like, I guess that equipment, the tool belt or whatever it is.
Yeah, and the hat's a bit.
Oh yeah,
scholarly, isn't it,
yeah,
as well?
yeah.
It's a bit Scion-y as well, though.
Yep,
Like
that's
the
true.
boots.
Yeah. Now this is the female version only, as I from what I can tell. Well, it is obviously a female here, but like she has like if you look at the back there, is that a corset on the back?
It looks like one, doesn't it? Or at least it's laced up. It looks quite nice.
So does that mean that the males also? I mean, it doesn't include a male version, so that would.
We're very forward thinking. Final Fantasy 14.
2017. Wow.
Males can wear corsets.
What a time to be alive. Yeah, so those are the winners for the gear contest. Now, the previous one that won, remember the tank one?
The tank one, that was pretty cool.
Yeah. When are these being implemented? Because if I recall correctly, that tank one won like ages ago.
It was shown off, and the in-game version of it was shown off during the fan fest, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, that's right.
So they are going to release it sometime in 4.0, I think. But
Stormblood.
Whether or not it will be an artifact gear or a dungeon gear, I have no idea. These people, everyone who's on this page wins a Gaily cap. So I'm very jealous.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's true. They get a Gaily cap. Let's talk about the new trial system, which can have a big, I guess, effect on the player community, because there are no time restrictions anymore on the free trial. So you can level all the way up to level 36, and after you reach level 36, obviously that's the cap, but you can still play the game. I guess the regular like restrictions apply. Like you can't use, what are the trial restrictions again? You can't use tells, you can't join a free company, and Can you use? Yes, you can use shout, I think, but
Let's see.
there are lots of chat restrictions, and you can't join the free company or a free company. But you do get
You can't use shout, yell, or tell.
Wasn't it
You
level?
can't access the market board.
You can't access the market
trade.
board. Oh wow.
Can't use Mog letters, more Moogle mail. You can't hire a retainer at all. You can join link shells, but you can't create them. You can't create or join free companies. You can join parties, but can't make them. And most importantly, you can't make any progress past floor 10 of the deep dungeon.
Right. So
very important.
Floor
But
10.
It's just gonna be people who. The issue is obviously RMT.
Yeah.
That's the issue, because they can still use /say, I guess.
Yes. And
so,
I mean, it does, but will we get more as a result? Do you think that? I don't see.
I don't know.
Because, well, I guess, yeah, because now they can just, their account will always have access to the game. Well, I mean, they will eventually get suspended, I guess, when they get reported, but I don't know. I don't see why that would increase the amount of RMT, actually, when I think about it. I was actually thinking about that too, that it might create an influx of RMT, but that doesn't quite make sense, because today they can still do, like, it doesn't make sense because their account gets banned anyway, so.
I suppose, yeah. They just make a new trial account anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Do you think it will bring in a lot of new players, or maybe people who want to role play but don't really want to get much further?
Yeah, that's probably one of the things that's going to happen. We're probably going to get a lot more role-playing stuff going on, because, I mean, you do get 25% of the game via the trial account now, or maybe less, 20%. I mean, up to level 35 or 36. I can't remember if it's 36 or 35.
Is that on every job?
Oh, that's a good question.
You could spend a lot of time on the free amount getting, a decent head start on a few different classes.
That's actually a very...
actually make any payments.
Yeah, that's a good question, actually. I don't know. It's probably for every class, don't you think? Do you think they'll
must be.
Yeah, because you unlock your job at 30, so, I mean, after that you can... you can accept other jobs at level 15, I think. Isn't that when you can start... I can't remember exactly when you can start unlocking other classes, but
15 was like the secondary class that you needed for the job crystal, wasn't it?
Right, yeah.
RMT Mr. Coco is in like guild spam.
Yeah, real money transaction or real money trading. I can't remember quite which one of them it is. Yeah, I think it's gonna bring more positive results to the game, more positive stuff to the community than negative, to be honest.
Yeah. Because having more people can't hurt, can it?
No. Although there's going to be a hell of a lot of 35 level 35 players in the game now. It's going to be weird. Which dungeon will be their end game dungeon then? Is that like it's not Hawk Manor, because that's 32, 31, 32. I can never remember Hawk Manor.
What was Cutter's Cry? Was that 35 or 6?
Oh god, if it's Cutter's Cry.
It's Sunken Temple of Khan. Hey.
What a great endgame dungeon, though. That's
never stop running it.
So there will never be any queue time on the Sunken Temple of Khan from now on.
No, that's going to be forever.
Nice. That's good. We needed that. I hate waiting for queues for Karn. That's a big deal.
You're always queuing for Karn.
Oh, yeah. Always. Where do you think, like, it's going to be? Look, just imagine, like, Limsa now. It's going to be...
Yeah, Limsa's already quite full.
Well, actually, it might actually... Because for people on trial accounts, since they can't use the market board, Limsa is pretty much just like any of the other city-states for them.
Yeah, I mean, they're not gonna have any damaging or even positive effects on the market or the economy. They're going to do nothing to that.
That's true. So it's just, we just get a lot of new players doing
they have
cards.
A guild cap or something, so they can't just constantly running card. Do you think once Stormblood's out, they'll increase the cap at any point? Or do you think 35 will be hard? Hardcat for a while.
I feel like I mean, we know that the cap was recently raised, wasn't it?
Was it?
Yeah, I think it was at level. If chat can help out again, it was lower before, and then they raised it to 35, but and that happened quite recently actually. So okay, the Far End of Fate soundtrack is coming out on June 6th and 7th for North America and EU, and you get a wind up Nidhogg if you purchase it.
It's exciting to go with your wind-up Aris Velgar from the art book.
Oh yeah, that's true. You get the...
Yeah, both brothers.
Nice.
I wonder if they do anything.
Without even checking, I'm pretty sure that's on a Blu-ray, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is the most... I can't get over this because I don't have a Blu-ray player on my computer. I would have one maybe like in another place in the house, but... Just put it on a DVD.
just put it on a CD or an MP3. I mean, I think you get an MP3.
Give us like a downloadable code with it, and then we can download the MP4s or whatever, MP3.
Yeah. I still don't get the idea with the Blu-ray music discs. I don't understand.
I mean, it's really high quality, maybe, but
that's true. But
just let us download it. It's fine.
I mean, I'd feel weird if I had to like go into the living room, turn on my PS4, and that's weird. But yeah, I guess.
Get out of the way, guys. We're listening to a sound.
I'm gonna listen to this album of just gay in-game music. That's all I'm gonna listen to right now.
What do you think Wind Up Nidhogg's stats would be like in Laws of Dominion? I wonder if... That's
a good question, an important
one.
What
sort of, because they all have a unique skill.
God, how sad for whoever is in charge of programming that particular thing. Like knowing that you're adding something to the game that no one cares about. It's like,
please, if anyone from Square Enix tunes into this podcast, please add in Pokemon battles rather than this League of Legends killer.
So this is God, that poor soul. Sorry, I just get like the image of this guy just coming into work and is like, oh yeah, the new minion is out.
He has his own little like cubicle that he sits in on his own.
Oh, how sad! Like
surrounded by minions.
Okay. Oh boy.
Don't worry, we've got some work for you. Finally, we're releasing a new minion.
Just one minion. Oh my God.
Bless him.
Oh God, it was.
But Wind Up Nidhogg, Orange's favorite villain.
Oh God, yeah, Orange.
He's got to get it. He's got to get it.
Yeah, Orange has to get it now because Orange is obsessed with Nidhogg. I think he's obsessed with Nidhogg because he wants me to get. Because I hate Nidhogg now.
Nidhogg was really good.
Oh yeah,
until
totally. Until they started with the fucking ice. Like
I know, just destroy them.
Yeah, like you have an active volcano in Lenosha. Just throw it in there then, if it's so fucking difficult to get rid of them.
They have an active volcano in Dravania.
They have that as well. God, just
what did we do? Let's just put an icicle through it and drop them down.
Let's just throw it down the mountain. Yeah, sure, no one's gonna pick those up. It's fucking ridiculous.
And then what happens? Patch afterwards. Oh, look what I found!
What a surprise! Oh God, so stupid.
Love him.
So at that point, I started hating him like intently. That was bottom of the barrel for me. And then Orange, of course, has to bring him up all the time.
I like your lumberjack outfit.
Thank you. I just came back from chopping wood. Yeah, so that's what I have done today. Okay, let's move on to that. Oh God.
No, Lukile, we have to talk about it. Daddy of Light. Daddy of Light.
It's coming to Netflix.
Daddy. Not father, not dad. Not old man of light. Daddy. Why did they pick that name?
It's like, I mean, obviously it's a translation from the Japanese one, but
It's coming to Netflix, Lukile. Does that mean? I think it does mean we're gonna have to do a weekly review of every single episode. Is that what it means, Lukile? Is that what we should add to the podcast every week? A weekly review of this week's episode of Daddy of Light.
Yeah, I mean, we're being cruel to it now, even though we haven't actually watched it.
It could be really good, and it might be. You know, everyone likes Japanese dramas, don't they? Asian dramas. That's popular.
For those that don't know, Daddy of Light is a TV series that is basically about a guy and his father.
His daddy.
His daddy, and they the son basically gets Final Fantasy 14 for his dad, and he secretly helps his father in-game without revealing his identity. Now, that sounds cute and kawaii, but there are a couple of things about this that I find a bit disturbing. One of them is the title, which I think they could have done a better job at not making it sound as creepy as it sounds. But the second thing is, from what I've seen, the son's in-game character is a female Mikote, and the father is a male Hyur. When you read that description again, that it's based on a son buying a copy of the MMO and sending it off to his father to play, the son secretly helps his father in-game avatar without revealing his identity. I mean, and it's called Daddy of Light.
Well, maybe there'll be a twist.
There is something wrong here. Okay, but that's fine. I thought that's going to be a funny little thing that we will have to watch on Nico Nico Live or whatever. Like some really complicated Japanese website and not be worth trying to get to watch. But no, it's coming to the West. It's coming to Netflix on, when is it? Lukile, when is it? Sometime in April for Japan and fall for the West.
Oh my goodness, that's a long time difference.
Yeah, that's a long. Yeah,
but we won't have to review it for ages.
That's true. It's gonna be nice. We're gonna have to review every single episode, so look forward to that.
Yeah.
Speakers of Daddy of Light. It's gonna be our new review podcast where we review only Daddy of Light episodes.
We're big fans.
Yeah, I mean, it's I'm not gonna be negative.
I think it will be like full of like top quality Final Fantasy 14 memes. Like,
it might be like a meme machine, that series. Hopefully.
Come on, Dad, we're going to do Zervan Extreme. Oh, Dad.
You didn't skip Soar.
You didn't skip Soar. Get out.
I think because I hope it has like, God, I don't know. It's not my kind of TV series, to be honest, but Lukile Daddy stuff. Oh God, no. No. Yeah, but if you're looking forward to that, then you're perfectly fine. It might be good. We might just be like put off because of the title. It's literally
gonna be heartwarming. It's gonna be just a beautiful story. It's
probably gonna be pretty cute.
A father finding out his son's secret.
Yeah.
That he's really a female Mikote.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, getting involved in a little bit of ERP.
Yeah. Do you think they're going to RP? Do you think... I don't understand.
Do you think it's just going to be like 20 minutes of each episode just going to be actual gameplay? Just a questing. Dad, I'm doing Beast Tribe dailies. Yeah, my son.
Because from what I've seen, like, that's what that show is. Like, it's some, like, little bit of... I haven't watched any of the... From what I've known, I think the first episode or something is already out in Japan. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's... from what I've seen from the trailer, it does seem like it's going to be, like, just a mix of them... Like, footage of them and then footage in-game. And that's... What a weird concept that is.
They're really pushing it, though, at the moment.
Yeah. They are.
There's obviously a TV series. There was that very strange wrestling thing.
Oh yeah, God, we have to talk about that. Why is that not in our show notes?
No.
Like, okay, so out of nowhere, we we got like it was the night before, like it was
Christmas.
it was the night before Christmas. And
We were all watching wrestling, as you do, family tradition.
oh god. But yeah, it was oh god, it was the night, it was at the middle of the night. That was when I got like the first message on Twitter that shit's going down, like there's gonna be god, I forgot. Wrestling, that there was going to be a wrestling, some sort of collaboration with Final Fantasy XIV. And what was it called? I'm not into wrestling, so I do not remember.
I don't know.
Was it WrestleMania? And apparently 3 of those wrestling dudes were wearing red mage, samurai, and monk gear. But to be honest, those outfits were, I mean, if they told me they were a fisher, a black mage, and a paladin, I wouldn't be able to tell the difference. To me, they all kind of looked the same. They were like their outfits.
They were just sort of like jock straps with a Moogle attached.
They were red.
But let's be honest, Lukile, these were some of the biggest men I've ever seen wearing a Moogle.
That's true. They did don a Moogle.
It's insane.
And they came in like with a fat chocobo like trolley or whatever it was. Like, was that supposed to be like a hot dog stand? I don't know what it was. Had like a parasol on top. It was incredibly
what a strange thing.
Yeah, and it just came out of nowhere, and it was entertaining. At least I didn't actually watch the actual event. I watched all the GIFs. All the GIFs that came out, they were entertaining. But yeah, that was weird, and I feel like
very strange.
Was that like a last minute thing? Because like that, to me, like that was way under the radar, because that just came out of nowhere.
Wasn't it like the rumors of it started on April Fool's Day, so everyone's like,
right? Was that when it happened? I can't remember how.
I think it was around April Fool's Day.
Oh, right. Yeah, it was. It was like the day after, I guess. Or that's what happened during the night, so people probably thought it was... I can't remember. Whatever. It was a weird event. We can say that for sure. Do we have any questions you want to answer before we move on to the great discussion?
We didn't have many questions from the last one. We obviously have the one from Colticide about, he says, I don't get the hateful Praetorium. What reasons do people give for the dislike?
Right.
And I see where he's coming from.
Right, so that's talking about our
top
10 video.
It is talking about that, but it was on just the podcast.
Yeah, because we discussed it in the previous episode, yeah. So, again, I don't think we were clear enough about, like, because... I don't quite understand the hatred for Praetorium. Let's not rip up in old wounds here, but I understand, like, people say that Praetorium is sort of like a raid because it's 8-man.
Yeah.
But it is listed as a dungeon in the Duty Finder, and that's how we scored it. So it's a simple reason. But of course, when it comes to like top lists, people are always going to disagree. So that's just the nature of top lists. Everyone is different, basically. So if we had removed Praetorium and Castrum, Tamtara Deepcroft Hard would have been our number 1. So you already know,
It wouldn't have changed anything.
No.
Really.
No.
But it's a fantastic story dungeon. And we gave it the points for the merit of being a fantastic story dungeon with a lot of important fights.
Yeah.
Story-wise. It's also horrible to run as a new player.
Yes, it is not a fun place to be if you just reached level 50 and did this for a main story. Oh,
I know.
Yeah, we talked about this last week, so let's not rip that back up. Someone is asking, where is Orange? Orange he will be back soon, so don't worry about it. Nothing.
Yeah, don't worry.
Don't worry about him. He'll be back soon. I think this is the first time Orange is gone with.
Yeah, for a long time.
Yeah.
Since the.
I don't think he's ever been gone actually.
Right, isn't it? Yeah, as soon as he joined, that was it.
Yeah. So this is his first day off. Well, let's okay. Move on to the great discussion. So I was recently watching a video of I can't remember his name, which is a shame, but there's a guy on YouTube that has done a video on what's it called? Or what's it called on Final Fantasy 14? What's this game? What's this game called again? Final Fantasy 14. And he did a first impressions video. And the video was like, I think it's like just like a day or two old, and it had like a very high dislike ratio, and I thought, well, that's weird. And the video was like really well made, and it was being very fair, and he did share a lot of my views. Like, for instance, he said that the way zoning works is a bit sad in this game because we have a lot of zone dividers, and he thought that was a bit, not a good thing. And he was very critical to the game, but he was also positive. And the hate in the I mean, it's not hate. Like, there's like with the Final Fantasy 14 community especially, but also in all MMO communities, there is like what do we call it?
They're very loyal, passionate people who maybe
I can give you the video.
Don't like it. Yeah. They just don't like hearing bad things about what they like.
Right, exactly. Please answer the straw poll, because when it comes to MMOs, and when people discuss the game, people get very heated. And people defend it. Some people defend it like at all costs, and you'll get a flame war in the comments. Like, especially if we're talking about like the big ones like World of Warcraft and Final Fantasy 14. But also, especially like speaking from own experience, if you've followed this channel from way back, which I guess probably no one did, but back when this channel was very tiny. Orange and I had a series called Dead MMOs, and you already know now by the name of the show that this, if your MMO shows up on that show, you're probably not going to be too happy about it. And we really got flamed because we visited like I guess we did visit some really small MMOs that have died for some reason, like on free to play, and then everyone forgot about them. And yet, even then, even when the game literally has 30 players, those 30 players will defend that game like with tooth and claw. And when it comes to 14, like, and this is also something that happens to us when even though we're like a channel that's like entirely based on Final Fantasy 14, if we like if we like diss Final Fantasy 14, we will never hear the end of it. Like, especially like, it's hard to bring up like any good examples here, but there has been a certain podcast, for instance, where we've like some of the recent ones. Like a couple of episodes back, like 3 or 4 episodes back, we were very like with the patches. Patches is a great example. If we talk down a patch, we usually get like bombarded with angry people, and I feel, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing because I do that too. I also defend Final Fantasy 14, and I think one of the main reasons why we become like that is because of the fact that we're, first of all, we've spent a lot of time, we've invested so much time in this game. So we want the game to be viewed by others as good because, I mean, we're playing it. We've sunk a lot of time and money in it. But the thing is, what's the point? Like, what's the point of having a flame war in the comments about an MMO? Like, because you know that if you get a WoW player in the chat, which will troll, like that happens. Like a WoW player will be like, Final Fantasy 14 is shit. And that's how you trigger them, you know? That's how the comment chain begins. There's no point in that to me. I can say like, okay, I disagree. End of discussion. Because a WoW player will never say that 14 is good because he's playing World of Warcraft. And a Final Fantasy 14 player will never say that WoW is better because he's playing Final Fantasy 14. Do you see how futile it is? Because yet I know that we're going to get comments in this video too, because now we're talking negative about 14. I'm not talking negative about 14. I love 14. But even now, we will get people being aggressive in the comments section. And especially when we did the top 10. It's a good example. No, sorry, the top 5 is a good example where we talked down some dungeons. And I mean, we're doing it out of love. But people view that as an attack on a game that they've spent a lot of time in, and they come to the game's defense. What do you think, Maela?
In regards to the top 10 best and the top 5 worst dungeon videos, it was very interesting with those top 5 worst, because everyone seems to really hate Totorak. Everyone was fine with it.
Yeah.
They're like, oh yeah, this is, yeah, I agree with you, yeah, really good. Yeah, but then the top 10 best, they're like, what?
Yeah.
Praetorium?
Mm-hmm.
It's the worst dungeon ever. It's like, you know, it is pointless to go into a big flame war about it. If you like something, you can like it. If you hate something, you can hate it. Doesn't really matter. Patches as well. If I was in an episode for talking about which patch was it, 3.3, was that Weeping City?
Yes.
I
No,
mean,
wait. Yeah.
I couldn't say enough good things about Weeping City. I love that dungeon.
Weeping City was 3. Wait, 3.
It might have been 4. No, it was 3. It must have been 3.3.
Yeah, it must have been 3.3.
Yeah. So that's an amazing one, but 3.5, well, I didn't like that much.
Yeah.
And if I say I don't like it, some people will say, well, you're stupid for not liking it.
Yeah, it's like, why are you attacking the game? Why are you not attacking the game? I'm still going to log in. I'm still going to play the game. I enjoy Final Fantasy 14. And, you know, those comments make no sense to me. Because, I mean, especially for us. Because we are a Final Fantasy 14 channel. Don't worry. If we talk negative about Final Fantasy 14, doesn't mean we're not going to play it. And I think most people understand that. We're not the ones getting attacked the most. But there are, like the channel that I just talked about, which wasn't a Final Fantasy 14 channel. People viewed that video as an attack on the game, but what's the problem? Like, it's I don't understand why that would be, why you would.
And
like,
some channels go through, and like a lot of channels are, let's say it's an MMO channel, they will go through each one. They will say, oh, this one's a bit similar to this, but this one's a bit different from that, and they'll compare them, and they'll go, well, how can you say this is like World of Warcraft? It's totally different.
Yeah.
Like, no matter what they say, even if they're completely unbiased, people will jump up.
Yeah. And it's also pointing out in chat there that being blind about the faults of an MMO or a game in general is just wrong. And that's usually what happens when you become, I'm gonna say this word now, a fanboy. You often I don't know how you become a fanboy. That's the problem, because I don't understand. At some point, like, you just turn off, like, you go blind. You just decide
accept everything.
Yeah, you just decide that I'm going to stick with this. I'm going to eat whatever they give me.
Yeah.
And I'm going to defend it till the ends of the earth. I mean, that's if that makes you happy, that's fine, but to me, I will never do that. I feel like the best way to show that you're involved in the game or care about the game is letting them know when you don't like what they're doing.
Yeah.
But sadly, for people that are like, especially the channel again that I talked about, that person made videos for other content and not MMOs, not just MMOs. I think it was like primarily like other types of games. And the other videos were fine. Like, there was no real, like, it seems like single player games, because you just complete them and that's it, you know, you're done. So you haven't really invested that much time in them. But I do want to, just as a side note, because I did also read that in chat about the Final Fantasy VIII thing that I did in the Fall and Rise episode, first episode. I made like a horrific mistake there, and that again shows the fanboyism. But that's like the Final Fantasy one. Final Fantasy has a very special fan base because everyone has. Because everyone sort of started playing Final Fantasy at some point, and they had like a game that was their gateway drug to Final Fantasy, and their first Final Fantasy is so holy, and you do not shit on their first Final Fantasy, and Final Fantasy VIII was my first real Final Fantasy that I played, and I thought, you know what's funny, if I say that Final Fantasy VIII looks like shit. Because it does look... Sorry, guys, but today Final Fantasy VIII looks like shit. Graphically, the game is great. I love Final Fantasy VIII. But, my God, the amount of comments about that Final Fantasy VIII thing that I did. I regret that so much. But for some reason, 13 is fine. If I make fun of 13, that's totally fine. But because that's generally viewed as a shit game.
Yeah,
Final Fantasy VIII.
Orange loves that one.
Of course, he loves it. But yeah, that's one of the things I really regret. Actually, I regret the whole first episode of Fall and Rise, to be honest. But I mostly regret that joke that I put, the 2 jokes I put in there, the Skrillex fucking joke.
Oh my God, that was the best part.
I cringe just thinking about it. And then the...
just remove it from YouTube.
I kind of want to, you know, but... It's like, no, I can't do that now because the other ones I have to remove everything then. Fun thing about that, no, let's not sidetrack anymore. We already got comments about that in the previous episode that we never stick to the topic. But yeah, the Final Fantasy VIII comment sparked a lot of negative backlash that I had to like correct in the next episode. But Final Fantasy VIII was actually my favorite one. And I get upset too when people say that 8 is like the weakest game in the series, except for 13. Which, I mean, I feel bad for those that started playing 13.
Because that brought in a big generation, didn't it? It was the first PS3 one.
Yeah, there are a lot of people that play had 13 as their first game.
It was almost the only PS3 one.
It was the only
15 was, apart from 14, but that's going down.
Yeah.
So it's the only PS3 one.
Yep. So, yeah, I see someone already in chat that said that 13 was their gateway drug.
And if you liked that one the best, then go for it.
Yeah, I wonder, do you, like, get upset when we say that 13 is bad? I want to know, for all of those watching that started playing Final Fantasy through Final Fantasy 13. Yeah, but I feel like the best way to because again, 8 got a lot of hate because it had the junction system, because it was a system that was very easy to fuck up, and it was very like, let's be honest, it wasn't a great system. It could have been better.
Broken.
Yeah, and because I admit that I mean but there are people that play 8 or they don't play 8 anymore, but I hope not. But they that are completely blind to this and say that it's like one of the most unique systems in the world. Unique does not always mean better. That's all I have to say.
It was interesting.
I love Final
Wasn't the
Fantasy
easiest way in 8 to stay at level 7 or whatever?
Stay as low as possible. That's the trick.
Stupid.
But I mean, there is a challenge.
Run away from every fight to not get XP.
Yeah, you just draw. You just draw magic from them, and then you leave the fight. That's how you get good at Final Fantasy VIII. I mean, it's a different kind of gameplay, I guess.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you want that, that's fine. Anyway, we're not talking about Final Fantasy VIII. We're talking about MMOs and protecting MMOs. Again, that's one thing. Like, but with MMOs, the conversation, like the amount, the length that people go to protect it. Like with 8, it's like, oh yeah, you slander 8, fuck you, and then they're gone. But with an MMO, they want a discussion. They want to discuss and they want to convince you that their MMO is superior to yours. And especially like with 14, like with the guy that was in the that made the video I talked about in the beginning, they were always like, they start the comment with, well, actually, and then there's their like massive comment about like everything that they like in the game. But that doesn't matter to the content creator, because the content creator clearly feels different. So what's the point? That's all I have to. That's all I have to say about the matter. Because I mean, because if we keep discussing this, we're just doing the same thing as they do.
I suppose so, yeah.
Okay,
I think it's a waste of time, and I think you think it's a waste of time.
I think it's a very big waste of time.
Just enjoy whatever you want to enjoy.
Yeah, as long as you're happy when you log in and you're content with your MMO, then that should be good enough. People that play other games, they play other games, and maybe they don't like Final Fantasy XIV, but we do.
Yeah.
So, okay, let's look at the results. Defending other MMOs online at all costs, is it a waste of time? There is a majority vote for yes. So thank God. There are actually 30% that say no, that it's not. I'm curious to know why though. Like why you would want to fight, because I feel like it's very. So it's to me it's just a massive waste of time, really. I know we're gonna end it early. It's just gonna be an hour today. It's a little bit because we're actually planning on restructuring the podcast, but we haven't had time due to Orange's disappearance and stuff.
Exciting though. What changes?
Oh yeah, what's gonna happen? There's gonna be some new segments.
Suggestions to.
Yeah, speakers. What's the email
Whatever
address? speakersofidle@gmail.com.
Or tweet it to Lukile. He'll look at it.
Yeah, or tweet it.
Let us know if there's anything that you actually feel would be a benefit to the podcast. Let us know.
Yeah.
Rather than just saying I hate it when that Maela guy talks.
Where is the fall and rise? Here's a question. Where is the fall and rise of Final Fantasy XIV? I said this at the beginning. It's coming. It's gonna be the last episode. Don't unsubscribe. It's it's gonna end with the next episode, and then a new show is gonna take over that one. A new series. I don't want Fall and Rise to be like 1 million episodes long, because people that watch Fall and Rise want to see 1.0 content. They want to see the 1.0 transition into 2.0. So, because we had already like prepared. Oh my God, what's going on? We had already sort of. I've already sort of lined out the future of what I thought was going to be Fall and Rise, but I don't want Fall and Rise to as I said, have like 1 million episodes. So Fall and Rise can end at 6 episodes, and then another episode. Let's just call it Rise. Episode Rise. Rise is gonna be 2.0 until up to 3.0.
It's the same premise, isn't it? It's just under a different name.
Exactly. Yeah. I just want people to know that, Fall and Rise ends at episode 6. So that's the 1.0 portion, and then there's the 2.0 portion. And yeah, there you have it.
There's a question from Koran.
God, there's a lot of stuff going on in chat right now.
I've got a question for you guys, because we couldn't see you at KupoCon, which was let's not even go there. Let's not. Yeah, we'll be able to see you anywhere at any kind of dimension. I think it's like
you'll see us in the 4th dimension.
In the 3rd, 4th, 5th.
Yeah,
any sort of event.
I don't think you'll see us in any event soon. At least I don't know. If anyone wants us in an event, please don't contact us, or do contact us. I don't know. No, we have nothing planned.
Maybe next
FanFest. Maybe it depends on when it is.
Maybe by then people will like us.
Yeah.
If it's in London, definitely. I'll definitely.
Oh yeah, yeah. Alex Michael asks, I asked about the Fiend OST up on the chat. They'll include that on the album. There was a band calling that the song belongs to them back when they released it. Oh, right. The controversy about the Sephiroth. Oh, sorry, the Sephiroth? Sephiroth? Yeah, whatever.
Sephiroth.
Fiend. Remember that? When they said like that it was... You did? Oh, really? Like,
I don't remember that.
The theme for Sephiroth was apparently very similar to another song that already exists.
Right.
But I don't know if it's on the album. There should be like a track list there somewhere, I guess. But from all of, I don't know. I have no idea. I think that was sorted out though.
Here's one
Yeah,
for you from...
after that's turned
Okay.
into 2.0, it has risen. So yeah, that's true. So yeah. So let's just call it.
What's the Phoenix called? Just Phoenix, isn't it? What's the one in Coil?
What? What are you talking
Phoenix
about?
boss.
What that one is called? Oh, I can't remember.
How is Chronicles of Realm coming along? This one's for you. I know you were thinking of making it span all the way from 3.x, and personally I like that idea. And they shamefully skipped a lot of the story. A fan of Orange, they could get along with. It sounds like it'll be a good way for people like Vince Bear to catch up with the times.
Yeah. To begin with, we're just gonna do the 1.0. God, what's it called? City States main story. And then I'll have to see. I'm not the thought is that I'm going to do the entire storyline, like from
Forever.
Yeah, forever, basically. I guess from 1.0 until 3.x.
You should do that.
4.x. Yeah, it's gonna be a fuck ton of work.
Because I want to go through the story again, and I have no option to because the game won't let me.
True.
HEP. The game won't let me.
Yeah.
Unless I make a new character, and I don't want to do
that. But yeah, I'm still working on the format for that. It's a bit difficult because I don't quite know how I want it to be. So if you have any suggestions as to how you want it presented, speakersofisland@gmail.com. But yeah, guys, can you change?
Please email us.
What?
Please email us.
Please. It's so empty. Our email inbox is so empty. Guys, can you change the background screen from black to any other color? You want us to change the background? That's a very random request.
It's kind of like a gradient from black to grey. So.
Yeah, it is actually. It's quite posh. Are you coming to the Gamescom in Germany? When is that? Gamescom in Germany.
Sometime around summer, isn't it? Do you want us to go to that Anu Dikfala?
Yeah, if I haven't even thought about that.
Because that's not even related to Final Fantasy. It's broad. It's more broad.
Yeah, I'm usually not very into conventions, sadly. But yeah, I might look into it if there's like a... It depends on what Gamescom has to offer. Let's just say that. The other song was When Worlds Collide, old 2000-ish music. That's true. That's the one that sounded like the Sephiroth theme. But I believe it was sorted out. I don't think there was any foul play there. They didn't actually just copy it. If you pay for Speakers of Island to go to Gamescom, then sure, yeah. Basically. Pay for our plane tickets, then we'll talk. Black is a sad color. Okay, you know what?
I'm so sorry.
For the next episode, I mean, we're restructuring the podcast, so to...
but it's so fancy.
Let's change... I mean, we can still use, like, the same grade. I'll figure that out. I'll see what I can do. Maybe
Let's make it a more spring color.
Yeah.
Let's change it every week.
Yeah. The tickets are cheap, the hotel's not. I can imagine.
You can pay for our hotels as well.
Yeah, we were in... for those of you that didn't know, we were in... I'm not going to explain why, but we were in London 3 weeks ago now? 2? I can't remember. God. 2 weeks ago? Yeah, 2 weeks ago-ish. 3? Oh, God. 24th? And we stayed at a hotel that was... it was not good. That's all I have to say. But the funny thing is that Orange is a bit of a... Orange is special. He, for some reason, expected there to be a toothbrush at the hotel. And he got really angry when there was no toothbrush there. And Lonigan and I already had our Like, obviously, you bring your own toothbrush. But apparently in Spain, that's very normal.
Apparently, Gamescom has a best in slot Final Fantasy XIV event where you can win T-shirts. So that'll be like a I've completed or I beat Sephiroth T-shirt or whatever.
Oh, really?
We could finally get one of those T-shirts, Lukey.
Huh. I will consider
I
it.
beat Shiva.
I mean, Germany is very close to where I live. I mean, that sounded weird. It's not close to where I live because it's
Germany
another
is very
country.
close to
But
where you live.
I can actually like drive.
Will I be able to go? Will I have to get a visa?
Oh God, you're the UK and the Brexit thing. I mean, if you do it before 2019, you should be.
Yeah, we'll be all right.
Yeah.
We'll go this year, maybe next year, but never again.
Yeah, never again
I'll
then.
never leave again.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. What would you want to use some random hotel toothbrush? I mean, I don't know.
Orange likes adventure.
And he got like really upset when he saw the kettle that was in the room. Because he was like,
What's wrong with the
how
kettle?
can you not have toothbrushes in the fucking hotel room and yet you have a fucking kettle? What are you gonna do with a kettle? What are you gonna do with a kettle? And I was like, yeah, you boil water in it and you have tea. You have tea. And that's when Orange revealed to me that he had never had tea in his entire life.
Orange is a strange creature. Where are you from, Lukile? Where are you from?
Where am I from? Okay. Guess. I want to see at least one guess in the chat. I really need what? Don't.
Yeah. What?
Yeah.
Yoshida is going to Gamescom.
Oh, is
he? Apparently. I guess he has to because it's press, isn't it?
Norway is on there. That's correct. Sweden is second. Norwegian and Swedish is like incredibly similar. The fun thing about Norway, Sweden, this is a very side note, but I'm just gonna say this real quick. Norway, Sweden, and Denmark, they're like, it's very funny because Norwegians can understand. Swedes can partially understand Norwegian and barely Danish. Danish can understand Norwegian, but barely Swedish. But Norwegian can understand both. It does down on my Twitter. Does it? Wow, it does. Yeah, revealed. I forgot to bring a toothbrush to my hotel last week, and the hotel gave me a free but very crappy toothbrush. Wow. They actually provided you with a toothbrush. That's weird. Oh, there's also one other funny thing about Orange in London. Like, having Orange had never been outside of Spain, which was, to me and London, it was a hilarious experience. But during breakfast, the waiters came around with coffee and tea, and Orange had like, ever since we sat down, he'd been like looking around, like a little bit confused. And I was like, "What are you looking for?" And they said, "They have milk here." And I said, "Yes, they have milk here." And he said, "Yeah, I got some milk." And I was like, "Yeah, okay, I can see you got some milk." And then he just stared at me with like massively confused eyes, and it was like, "Where's the chocolate?" I was like, "What?" What? And he's like, "You don't just drink milk without chocolate." And then the waiter was like, "You want tea? You want coffee?" And he was like, "I would like some chocolate milk, please." And the waiter is like, oh, what? Oh, okay. He was a little bit confused. And he picked up his cup and he went into the kitchen and got him some chocolate milk.
That's amazing they provide it, though.
Yeah, that's service indeed. But yeah, that was a fun experience. Yeah, classic Orange. Anyway, that's it for this episode. Thank you so much for watching. I've been Lukile Bravestone. I've been joined by Maela Vanadar. And remember to follow us at Twitter at SpeakersXIV, on Facebook /SpeakersXIV, Twitch /SpeakersOfIdolin, and YouTube.com/SpeakersXIV. We'll be back next week, same time, 7 p.m. GMT, 12 p.m. PDT. Until then, bye. Thank you for watching this episode of Speakers of Idolin. Remember to leave a like if you enjoyed and subscribe if you want more. We're also on Twitter at twitter.com/SpeakersXIV and on Facebook at facebook.com/SpeakersXIV. The show is also available in audio form on iTunes, link is in the description. If you want to watch the show live, the show runs live every Saturday at 7 PM GMT, 12 PM PDT on twitch.tv/speakersofHeidelin and on youtube.com/speakersxiv. If you want to support the show, consider pledging to our Patreon campaign at patreon.com/speakersxiv. Thank you.